Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the American Revolution mod. Last time around, I do believe it was George Washington and his Peanut Butter Brigade that they were advancing, and they were expecting reinforcement by cannon and 2 battalions of the 4th New York that was situated here. The sneaky British came out of the forest, attacked our position, slaughtered the 2 battalions of the 4th, and stole our 4 12-pounders that we have dragged all the way through the forest to get there. George Washington was forced to retreat from his planned atrocities against the locals, so he had to turn back and replenish. We kind of learned our lesson, and so we sent the 2nd New Hampshire, the 3rd New Jersey, the 4th Connecticut, and Sheldon's Light Dragoons. Bazinga. Alright, one thing that's kind of crazy, with this mod, is just the insane amount of regiments that America has. You see all of... I mean, I should really maybe try to count some of these. The thing is, these are all specific for this region. And, I mean, like here, we see the 13th Massachusetts. I'm pretty sure, if I actually look around, there's probably going to be the 1st Massachusetts, the 2nd Massachusetts, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. They're all here. Every single one of them. As like, all of these are specific for just this town. Like, there's just as many and all different over here. And then as I'm building up Maryland and we're getting the governor's military whatever, I'm getting special units here. So the Polanski's Legion, the Lancers. Polanski sounds Polish. That the under command, service continental, and all of them have wait. The Legion would see action at the Little Egg Harbor massacre. Excuse me, but the first thing I'm gonna do after this video is I'm gonna check out the Little Egg massacre. The thing about it though is I'm kind of expecting, just by the name Little Egg Harbor Massacre. The thing about it, though, is there seemed to have been a lot of propaganda going around at the time. I mean, if you take a famous massacre of the time, which would be the Boston Massacre, which is probably the world's most unmassacre-y massacre. Like what? There was, like, 1 person, like 2 person died and 1 like sprained his knee or something, and they called it a massacre. Which is kind of, I mean, probably worked though, like rallied all the guys. It probably got a super amount of likes on Facebook, and everyone's, I can't believe they sprained old Jeremiah's leg. Damn the British. And it turns out that they just like fell in the snow or something. Anyways, what we're gonna do today is we're going to take Newfoundland, and hopefully if we end... Oh yes, we're gonna take Newfoundland and we're gonna strike back, so we're gonna attack from Baltimore down to this army. So, yes, I should say, where did the Huron army go? Where did the Hurons go? We didn't massacring them. We let them borrow some of our blankets. No. What happened was there was a pretty assured thing that they were gonna take Virginia, and the thing is, when the natives take it over, all the buildings like get demolished because the natives can't build for shit apparently. So that they can't have a dockyard, they can't have a church, they can't... Well, the farm they can have, but they have to build it their own ways, and with sticks and stuff. Like, these farms. They can't just keep... And look at that, they're not even using the tobacco here. This is what they build. 1 TP and a few barrels. That's what they build. So everything gets torn down and then they rebuild their own stuff. So I didn't want that, but because why would you devastate an area like this that actually generates quite a bit of cash? So in anticipation of the Hurons going in and just massacring all of Virginia, as I retreated, I made a treaty with the British where I just gave them it. The thing is, the British actually get their turn before the Hurons, but the British was like, nah, why take back Virginia when we can loot Baltimore again? Am I right, guys? Am I right? So that's what their plan was. So they were gonna let the Hurons go ahead and take it. So I gave it to the British, which is kind of weird. I'm giving the British a lot. Every single technology so far that I've discovered, I've given to the British just to kind of even the field, because I've felt that it's been going a bit too easy. So, and also I give them quite a bit of money as well, which is kind of weird, but it keeps the suspense a little bit going, and that I'm not just steamrolling the bastards. With that said, so yeah, we're gonna take the force here from Baltimore, go down and attack Lawrence Tully. I guess the Tullys, Game of Thrones. Yes, it's like after seeing the last season, it's like I don't even remember Game of Thrones being a thing. It's like watching it for so long and then get such a bad taste in your mouth after the last season that I don't even remember it. Anyways, we're gonna see some new units then, namely the Continental Mid-Atlantic Infantry, where I've got 3 of those. And did I get a new Dragoon? No, it's just the Mid-Atlantics that came about. What I did, since I wanted to show as many as possible, but also kind of a horrible mess, is I've started, as we can see from the reinforcements here, just 1 of each battalion, just so we can see all of them. But it's gonna look like a horrible mess, but I guess that was the Continental Army, so there's no surprise there. With all of this, last thing, I guess, is this one. We need to deal with this one way or another. We only have 3 crappy congressional militia. Congress can't do anything, right? So I'm wondering if I should reinforce that somehow. But I'm not entirely sure how. We could take these. Phineas, 18th Continental Regiment. Unlike everyone else that has kind of a considerable... Oh, it did actually have some ordered North New York to... Blah, blah, blah. It did actually have some information about it. The other ones usually have this massive amount of information about them. But I guess I could take old Phineas and his dudes and do an old switcheroo, go to the major fishery. I wonder if there is a port called Egg Port. Do not forget about the Egg Port massacre, fellas. That could have been an egg port. I don't know why they have a fishery here, because they have 2 places within the Carolinas, North and South Carolina. They have 2 farms, so they don't need a fishery. What you would need is a trade port, so you can actually trade with people. Do they have trade? They don't. They haven't built up the trade port here. What are you doing? Do we have a trade port here? Yes. Then why aren't you trading? Well, I guess it's because they're supposed to be trading from their capital in Quebec. Do you have a trade? I'm kind of low-key want to invade Quebec. Build a trade port for them and then retreat just so they get the trade. Because right now, England does have, or Great Britain does have allies. They have Indian allies, they've Dutch allies, so they could be trading overseas with the Dutch. But they aren't. They're only trading with the Iroquois, which I imagine The wonderful wares of the Iroquois is probably wonderful. Anyways, talking all this buffoonery, Bennett Fox finally is gonna go ahead and attack Simon Jackson and take out Newfoundland. Huzzah! Slightly annoying that the battles have a tendency to sometimes just crash in the middle of everything, ruining my humor. So, we're not going to repeat what I said about a slightly annoying duck. Instead, we're going to go over the fact that I actually, now the game crashed, took the time to look up how many people actually died in the Boston Massacre, and there were 5 people, so more than I said. So, I guess it's a little bit of a massacre. And 6 people and a duck were injured. Let's see. The Newfoundlanders have set up within this village. I've got my cannons up on the high hill, and you know what? Blast them. I've put my colonial militia in the center again. No, we put them up front. Over here. Actually, we're gonna probably move them a little bit to block the enemy, try to force them to stay in town. Get a bit more like that. Plus, we're gonna run to get there quickly, and then we're gonna put the Green Mountain Boys behind them, just in case they decide to run. Then I'll give out the order. Order, Second Amendment, shoot everyone. So everyone retreats, gets shot. So there's the Green Mountain Boys, or the Green Mountain Rangers, as they're officially called. But we all know they're boys. Because men are best. Right. I missed something, and this colonial militia has run straight into this British general unit. Which I still don't know why they're so big. We're gonna put our Green Mountain Boys right behind. And I'm wondering if I should not order the cannons to fire straight at our own men. The thing is, the militia will die anyways. And so Fox Bennett, not I, ordered a North American style massacre. 5 people dead and a few ducks. Right, these guys don't even have bayonet. Colonial militia, you officially suck. Hopefully, though, we'll kill loads of the British bodyguard. There's a smaller bodyguard. I guess they become this humongous once the general die, but the unit remains or something. Right. We need to get some better angles here. We got the Royal Highlanders coming in on the flank. I guess we'll send these Green Mountain Boys to deal with them. I'm wondering if we have not taken on more than we bargained for. What we're gonna do is we're gonna advance there. I'm gonna put my general over here. We're gonna fire it simultaneously as I'm trying to withdraw the colonial militia to a position here. And then hopefully my other units will actually stand up to the enemy. I might have wanted to actually move to a better position in the... Oh, you know what? There's quite a few of them dead. Right, that's really good. Fire your cannons over there, and now we'll execute my wonderful plan. Right, as they retreat, the Mountain Boys will open fire. They're crack shot, you see, because they're all 14 years old. Oh no, I mean, shit, the general. Also, they're for monetization values. Here on YouTube, they're actually not 14, they're all 19. Whew. Dodged a bullet there. We're gonna move the general over here. Right, we just... These guys routed and we kind of dragged on the problem onto the 2nd militia unit. Which is now under attack by the general and garrison militia, firing at really close range. Our expedition to take Newfoundland might end very soon if we don't do anything. Right, I think the... it's that British general that needs to go. I think we should not shoot. Right. I don't want to stay in melee with those boys. So we're going to pull back. And luckily for us, the colonial militia decided to pull back at the same time. In full retreat. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put these guys here along the wall. And I'm going to put these guys here along the wall. Put these guys here along the wall. And these guys don't have a wall to hide behind. So they're just going to stay put. Right, these guys are back. That's good. Then they can hide behind the wall as well. I did order you guys to go behind the wall. And then we'll all go for guard mode as well. We're going to focus in artillery on the armed citizenry as they are most likely to be routed. Bennett, this is your first command. You don't want to embarrass yourself. Otherwise, George Washington and the Peanut Brigade has to do everything by themselves. Right, onto the wall. So we're all firmly entrenched behind these stone walls, being able to lay quite effective fire on the enemy. The armed citizenry, or the inhabitants of Newfoundland, decided to run, which is good news. We're going to fire on the militia with a cannon, which is at this point possibly getting charged by these bastards. Let's see, how long are you to... No, they're actually straightening out, going for the lines. Ooh, that's a nice shot. Can we get another one? Not as good. And that one was... the last one was useless. But the first one actually got quite a few of them. You can see a bunch of them lying dead here. And they rout before they even get there. The guys in the forest though, the Highlanders, the Highland immigrants, they look a lot like the Green Mountain Boys, don't they? Or am I... Let's see, Green Mountain Boys over here. Yeah, they do look a lot like them, don't they? Ah! Strange tidings. Why have you stopped firing? Fired well. Also, I think Bennett can move over there. So they've lost 100 men. Okay, I think we're gonna fire at the militia once more. I think we're gonna hold fire, wait for them to get closer. Wait for them to get closer! Okay, they do not follow my orders. Most likely all of those shots are going straight into the ground. Right, we're not really getting anywhere. But I think we can do something with this one. Hold your fire and wait for my order to fire. We're gonna see about routing this one first. We do have cannon shots falling into this one. Falling into this one. Flying into this one. Which most likely will rout them once again. Right, are you all guys reloaded? I guess the Green Mountain Boys...
is what we called our own Highland immigrants. Right. Let's see, good position. That volley from Bennett actually kinda almost routed the enemy. Hold fire, find a way around there, and then you will charge these guys down. These will move into as thin line as possible. And let's see if we can organize this as well as possible. Have a wonderful volley. Come in at the same time as the general will charge these guys in the back. And they're running. Right. Wonderful. That means that we can relocate the colonial militia and these green mountain boys, and we're going to deal with the other flank of the enemy. Once that's dealt with, we'll try to attack the center and the flank of the enemy. Run for the hills, yes, you would do good in... Are there any hills on Newfoundland though? Right, 95, and we've cut them pretty badly. I don't think those guys are gonna come back. Wonder if we can dare put Bennett here and have him fire down the street. But I might need some aid, so I'm gonna put the cannon to work there. Seems as the enemy has actually moved into a better position for us to fire at them. And normally I'd say that the wall is a pretty poor position to actually sit behind. But I'm not entirely sure if they've I would say at least for normal when I don't actually use that in Empire. I usually just stand the unit behind. But given how few casualties we're taking here... Oh, they're actually they're shooting Bennett. We might not want to lose the general. That could go bad. I think also from the angle, it's probably going to be better for us to fire at the Scots than anything else. Right, are you all reloaded? I hope so. No, you're not. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fire some volleys. I think they might rout very soon. Right, fire. When ready. That did not break the enemy, but what I'm gonna do is we're gonna now throw forward the colonial militia, which will move one step forward and fire. Right, the center is broken. Artillery will now be focusing on the right. Very good volley by the colonial militia. Once they're done, the green mountain boys will move up. They're not yet fully reloaded. Like, there we go, most of them are reloaded. They looks like they are about to prefer to fire back, and I would rather lose colonial militia than my green mountain boys, so there we go. Now they will move through. Oh, the enemy is broken. Right, there's no point in firing then. We'll just march after the enemy. The enemy general just got shot down as he moved up to our walled position. Most enemy units are broken down, except the guys in town that we need to move a little bit harder on. So let's move out of our entrenched position and get rid of the final part of the enemy army. This one has actually harassed us for quite a while, hiding behind the houses. We're gonna have to tear down quite a lot of it. Right, you're gonna have to hold there because we've got enemy militia in the forest. I don't think they actually shot any one of these. It's still 197. They're waiting for stragglers that seem to have a very hard time getting over the wall. You know, this is not the time to reenact the Matrix. Alright, the general came out again. Took loads of shots. I don't think we're gonna see him again. He's probably lost enough. He's steady. I think we're gonna have to charge these. Are the cannon even firing? I'm not seeing cannon shots. No, they're not firing because the enemy is hiding behind the house. I will order you then to tear that house down. Move that bus! Come on. Extreme Home Makeover! The North American... they are in North America in the original version. In the... revolutionary version. Right, these guys are running. Forward. Right, we're gonna tear you apart. Pieces of shit. Right, I want you to move down there. We're gonna move closer and finish these off once and for all. And in case there's still 150 or so in case they come back, we'll put that unit of Green Mountain Boys to deal with them over there. Let's have the general come in. Oh, the enemy general charges in against Green Mountain Boys. He's got no chance. There's 200 of them and there's only I don't know how many of the bodyguard. 11. Cannon shots fly. And these guys are about to fire straight into the armed citizenry. Our general has arrived. Right, we need to find a little bit of a better angle to deal with that armed citizenry, and it's gone. Just in time for the Highlanders to come back. Great. Prolonging this battle. Oh, there we go. I was just about to click on something else, and then there the battle went. Given that this one looks like it took about 20 minutes, plus my very long explanation beginning, probably easiest to end the episode here, and we'll deal with dispelling those troops out of Maryland later on and retaking Virginia and preparing for the Hurons to come back. But heroic victory, and yes, let's celebrate the victory of taking Newfoundland. And here we have the results of the battle. We deployed similar enough forces in terms of actual numbers, but then again, we had the Green Mountain Boys, which are as close to regular as we can get, I believe, compared to the British, which only had militia. And we had a cannon, which was a big up for us. We still lost about a third of our force. However, the enemy lost every single one of their men. The artillery killed most, which I'm actually kind of surprised to see. But then again, a lot of the kills at the end here of the troops that actually retreated are, I guess, divided among all the troops, because there's no way the commander-in-chief killed 200 people. So I guess all of this doesn't really comprise what they actually killed in the battle. So we can't really make an assessment out of that. But Newfoundland is ours, which is very nice. It's gonna take 1300, which we don't have. And then we're gonna force the British Navy out of port. What I can do is we could take the colonial militia and actually put them together, because going up here, the only thing we've got against us are these two King's Orange Regiment Dragoons militia. So that we wouldn't really need to have all of this. But first things first, we're gonna take the Green Mountain boys. We're gonna force out that British ship. And then we're gonna take our navy and sink it. Oh! Huh. Yes, I thought it was a single ship, but there's actually two, and one of them is rather large. It's quite even. But I don't think I have enough in this episode. You know what? We're gonna pull back and we're gonna fight. If we're gonna do... Oh, you've pulled back way too far. If we're gonna fight them, we're gonna fight them in a different episode. Plus there's another one over there. Right. One of the things that I think they probably should have implemented just in kind of balancing is, first of all, I think the British should have a much larger navy to start off with. And then secondly, I think they should have probably capped what kind of ships that the colonials would be able to get. Steam dockyard. What is the biggest I can get? United States class. They're all okay. So they're all actually changed. But what would be the Chippewa class? Looks like that really huge Spanish ship. 106 gun for the Chippewa class. I don't think they would actually have been able to build anything like that during the Revolution. Or maybe I'm wrong, but 106 guns. Or 100 USS Pennsylvania, 122 seems like a lot. And then the Americans would have to rely mostly on capturing British ships. And the others then. The allies of the British. The Spanish haven't really done anything. They've just moved their army over there. Maybe I should give the Spanish a load of money. Maybe we'll kick them. They'll actually start to move on the British. They haven't really done anything. But then again, I haven't really been checking what's going down here. Probably some naval fights and stuff. Wonder if there's some fight here in between the Dutch and the French. The French have a little bit, but yeah, maybe I instead of boosting the British so much, maybe I should boost the French and the Spanish, so we actually get some aid from them. We do have a Spanish fleet on the way. 3 galleons with a sizable force. The Toledo Regiment, the Soria Regiment, 3 of them. Havana Militia, 3 Havana Militia. And the Regiment Fierro de Puerto Rico, under the command of who? Alonso Gomez is on the way. And he's on the way north to aid us. Where is the Spanish going to land this army? That's going to be interesting. One of the things I'm definitely going to go ahead and take this before the bloody Spaniards get there. Bloody Spaniards! You are not going to go ahead and take that part of Canada. Anyways, time to end the video right here. So hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.